Dogs and cats living together. That's hysteria. Wow! Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig
it? Hey guys, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host as always, Jay Schatzer. And today I've got a classic sci-fi / horror flick lined up for us. It is Boris Sagal's 1971 classic. It is The Omega Man. And if you haven't seen this Charlton Heston starring flick, you're in for a real treat. So let's not waste any time and get right in like we usually do. Here is The Omega Man. The Omega Man is an action-packed science fiction film with a heavy tinge of horror and an ample dose of legendary Charlton Heston badassery. Based on the 1954 novel I Am Legend by American author Richard Matheson, and reimagined from Vincent Price's 1964 cinematic effort The Last Man on Earth, this wild adaptation loosely uses the framework of both the novel and the film, but injects its own sense of style and attitude that solely focuses on high-octane action and unbridled entertainment. Presented in a modern 70s sense and highly nostalgic, The Omega Man is a wonderful production that thrives in its dire scenario, yet still manages to bring a great sense of fun to the proceedings. The film follows Army scientist Dr. Robert Neville as he traverses the post-apocalyptic urban landscape of Los Angeles. Devastated by a biological weapon and swarming with mutated infected beings, this dire and desolate new world is a dangerous one, and it is one where Neville scavenges for supplies during the day and boards up for survival for the night. Plagued by a new race of deformed nocturnal creatures led by a crazed psychotic named Matthias, Neville struggles to find a cure for the plague and possibly bring civilization back from the brink of total extinction. Charlton Heston takes on the role of Dr. Robert Neville, the possible last man on the face of the earth. Stubborn and wisecracking as they come, Heston makes for a compelling hero which literally soaks up the scenery in this centralized role. Deeply enriched in cynicism and overflowing in bravado antics, he's the perfect man for the job in carrying the film into outstandingly entertaining territory, and he does this in copious amounts. Entirely engaging, Heston brings the pain in bombastic and action-packed flavor, giving us enough outstanding moments and explosive altercations to stand up and cheer. If anyone could follow in the footsteps of original actor and horror legend Vincent Price, then Charlton Heston would be it. He has the charisma, fortitude, and overall presence to take the reins, and he steers the production into unfathomable, chaotic fun. Accompanying Heston on this wild ride is Anthony Zerbe as the mad-as-hell Matthias, and Rosalind Cash as the vivacious and headstrong Lisa. When it comes to bad guys, Zerbe absolutely thrills in the role of the leader of the deformed masses, and his cool-tempered disposition and overall presence for the character is a real boon for the production. Highly calculating and determined in his convictions, Anthony Zerbe gives the character of Matthias a sympathetic turn while being entirely sinister. On the other side of the coin is Rosalind Cash as the sole woman survivor, Lisa. Ridiculously capable and totally fierce, Cash brings a sense of independence and vigor to the role that calls from the attitude and tradition of blaxploitation flicks. Wholly sure-headed in her take-charge approach, Cash portrays her character of Lisa in a positive and extremely engaging light. Needless to say, though the cast list is rather small in this film, the main standouts really hold their own in the limelight and add a great deal of personality and character to the movie. Rounding out the positive aspects of the production is the general attitude and thoroughly vetted feel of this savage landscape. It's exceptionally downtrodden in its visual palette, and the imagery is perfectly somber when things aren't exploding and setting aflame. The emptiness of the daytime scenes are remarkably displayed in the haunting urban landscape of a void life of Los Angeles. In this representation, it heightens the tremendous sense of loneliness and isolation that Robert Neville is battling, and that is an essential ingredient in making this film believable. Juxtaposed against that, though, is the over-the-top 70s action that wholly goes off the rails in its exploits to entertain. Insanely thrilling and profusely enjoyable, the Omega Man doesn't hold back in its efforts to appease its audience's appetite for destruction. It's pure satisfaction on a miraculous scale, and Charlton Heston does an amazing job in carrying this production on his more than capable shoulders. Rip-roaring action horror is the name of the game with this one, and if that is what you're looking for, then you're in luck. The Omega Man is legendary horror sci-fi that's primed to explode. And guys, that is the kick-ass flick, The Omega Man, one of Charlton Heston's most entertaining flicks. But guys, that's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I hope you like what I'm doing here. If you do, please like and subscribe. And if you have time, leave a comment below because I'd love to hear from you. But until then guys, I will see you at the next movie review. Take care.